Hello and welcome back to another certified OG chefing video. If you've been anywhere on social media recently, it seems like everybody and their mother has a brand new BMW M3. It really makes you feel that to be somebody, you have to own one of these beautiful cars. But the question we're trying to answer in today's video is, do you actually really need an M3? Or is the cheaper, more easy to get M340 good enough? Let's find out.
Yeah, hello ladies and gentlemen. In today's video, you've already seen it. We are testing something, a theory, because many people always think, do we really need an M3? Is the M3 really the BMW to get? And also like,
yeah.
in today's video, we're finally testing a BMW that is not an M car. A BMW, it's like half an M, BMW M340. It is basically the smaller version of the M3. You can say it's kind of like a baby M3. And in today's video, we're going to try to find out how good these cars actually are. And we're going to try to answer the question if we actually really need an M3, or if maybe it is enough if you buy something like this and slightly modify it to kind of match the performance. So 340 G20. You can see the car is slightly modified. We have coilovers, we have wheels, and we also have some performance upgrades, which hopefully are going to help us truly test out this vehicle today. Yeah, this fine young gentleman here is the wonderful owner of this lovely 340. Wie heißen Sie? Ja.
Mein Name ist Abbas.
Servus Abbas.
Servus, freut mich. Wer sind Sie?
Yeah, genau. So Abbas, tell us something about your wonderful car.
Alright, it's an all-wheel drive 340i 220.
Wo laufst denn du hin? Bleib da.
Ja, ein bisschen zeigen, oder?
Ja.
Ja, ich bin aus Frankfurt. Erklärt, glaube ich, einiges.
Lauf Befehl. Babahaft.
I think the best thing we should do right now is just to open the hood.
Pop the hood, man.
Bro, I'm so excited. I have never driven a 340 before.
As you can see, we got some more modifications. We got an Venturi over here, charge pipe, because we got upgrades
Turbos. Yeah.
from Turbo Systems Stage 2.
Nice.
It's the first time that I don't have to do the talking. It's so nice. Und hier regnet es drunter nicht.
Yes, so right now we got approximately on the normal boost map on 98 octane around 570 horsepower, which we get on the wheels. All in one, the normal boost around 620, 630. We got a time of 100 to 200 of 6.6, so it's round about as fast as a Lamborghini Huracan STO.
Damn, boy. But you can switch in four-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive.
Yeah, in this type of engines we got some tools, for example like MHD, XHP, to switch the mode of from all-wheel drive to rear-wheel drive. It's the X-Delete.
Yeah.
So in this case we can switch to all-wheel drive Sport, which would be 80 to 20 or 0 to 100, so it's 100% rear-wheel drive.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, we're gonna try that out later, I guess. Ladies and gentlemen, a lovely car with some lovely modifications. You can see it from the front, it looks pretty much stock. We have a lip down there which is already a little bit broken. I have to say, honestly speaking, the front of the 340s is pretty nice. I like it a lot, and I do think that this car kind of has a cool vibe to it, and we're gonna see how this vibe is later.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, in the rear, I'm gonna be honest, guys, it's a 340, and there's like minor modifications to it, but it's a 340. So what should we say? It has a wing, it has the original exhaust tips, which is very good. If you put M3 exhaust tips on your 340,
no,
shame on you.
No bueno.
We have some nice Alibaba lights.
It's from my uncle. Ali is my uncle. What should I say?
No, it's cool.
You forgot something special.
Was haben wir vergessen?
Ja, guck doch mal genau hin.
Ja, den Carbondeckel, oder? Also den
Nee,
Deckel.
was für, sag mal, ist das Carbon oder?
Na, Plastik, oder?
Ja, also, schau doch mal genau hin. Ich habe ein Easter Egg hier verbaut.
Ein Easter Egg.
Ach so, du hast Verkleidung
Ja,
hingemacht.
siehst du mal. Wegen Downforce.
MWB.
Ja, Downforce. Merkst was?
Oh Gottes Willen.
Yeah, inside we
Well.
have... Bro, this guy is a typical BMW owner. Was haben wir da? Besser Teppich.
Ah, zum Beten, oder?
Zum Beten, fix.
Ah,
Ja,
schau.
du musst ja beten, dass ich ankomme.
Ja.
Bro, the interior is pretty cool though, I have to say. The white with the black, the steering wheel.
Warum klicken die so raus?
Magnetic pedals.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess with that it's probably just the best if we just sit in the car and take it for a spin
Perfect.
and find out.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, this is the first time that I'm ever driving a 340 or like 335, whatever. Never tested those, and it's also pretty high on my bucket list because I always wanted to see how these cars compare to the non-M models, if it's really such a big difference. Spring jetzt rein. Servus, Meister. Alright, I mean, right now, kind of feel like we're driving my G80, but this feels more comfortable.
Yeah.
The seats and everything is just a bit nicer than the G80. So, BMW 340. We're gonna see now if this car, how it compares to the M3s, how it compares to the M models, how big of a difference does it really make? Is it justified spending 30, 40, 50,000 more compared to the normal versions? Or are you just okay with getting a 340, putting a little modifications into it, and then maybe you even have a better car? We're gonna find out on today's episode of Sheepman Tests, Reviews, Rides,
Drifts.
Yes, sir.
Brakes.
So the first thing, which I can tell you already, is that everything... do I really not need to talk about the interior of this car? Because it...
Okay, Garmin, Aufnahme speichern.
Okay, Garmin, Video speichern.
Because in the end, this is like every other BMW that we tested so far. This is a pre-facelift, so we have a display here, you have the climate control. Honestly, I like the pre-facelift a bit more than the facelifts nowadays, because with the facelift, like we had the my G80, you have a huge display and you don't have the buttons anymore. Pre-facelift, you have buttons. And if there's one thing that we like on this channel, it's buttons. Buttons are always cool.
Yes.
So you get a plus point for this. The steering wheel, honestly, it's probably like Alibaba, but I'm gonna be like 100% honest with you guys.
Das ist ein klarer Indiz, dass Alibaba ist.
Yeah, but I think it's pretty cool.
Ja.
No, like as a Schaltbild is,
Yes. Krank.
I like how it feels in my fingers when I press it.
Wie so.
It feels satisfying. It feels like getting the hit marker
Ah, yeah.
on
Call of
Black Ops.
Duty, yeah.
Call of Duty. Alcantara is nice though.
Mhm.
This is probably also not stock. But apart from that, I mean, it's stock G20. What do you guys want me to say? It drives nice. It's very smooth. It's very comfortable. It's more comfortable than the M3. So if you want to have a daily car, it's probably better to just get this and then just whatever. We're gonna see how it drives.
Da, wisst ihr, wie viel Chayas das er schon vernascht hat da hinten?
Sicherlich einige. I guess the gearbox is the same as you have it in the G80 M3. So in theory, if you put a flash on it, it should theoretically be the same gearbox as you have in the G80 M3, because this is an 8 HP. I guess every car is an 8 HP.
Yeah,
nowadays.
everyone.
G80 is also 8 HP. So gearbox wise, it should be very similar to an M3. The Venturi is nice.
Ja.
Sounds like the car is happy that you're pushing it.
Ja. Das ist geil.
But it's pulling quite a lot, to be honest.
Yeah,
It feels
it's
like
nice.
a fast car. To me, always these 340s and 335s, they are cars that people build for like straight line racing. Like drag, if you like drag race or whatever, this is the car to get probably. Which makes sense, but I don't want to test out how fast a car is in a straight line today. We're gonna try to find out how sporty you can drive these cars compared to the M3, because obviously you guys know it, we all know it. If there's one guy that's an expert for BMW M3s, it's gonna be your boy, Sheepman. I am basically an M3 at this point.
Aber warum hast du noch nur M5?
Sound is pretty nice though.
It's quiet.
Quiet.
Aber der geht echt gut.
Yeah. It's actually really nice that this car is all-wheel drive, because otherwise we would have probably just landed in a ditch right now. The main thing which I'm gonna be very interested to see today is how the differential handles and how the suspension and like the steering and everything is compared to the G80. I put quite some miles on my G80, so I am the insider.
I am the G80.
Yeah, ich bin halt der King.
Okay,
Was
was?
sehen wir?
Aber glaubst du, dass die anders ist als wir beim M3?
Ich weiß es nicht. Ich habe mir nicht eingelesen.
Das ist perfekt. Ja.
Guys, we're probably the worst car reviewers out there, because everything we do, we just let the people come to us.
But it's honest.
Yeah, we're the most stupid, but probably also the most honest car reviewers, because all we just do is let the people come to us, don't inform anything about the car, didn't read anything, I didn't like ask him anything, we just sit in the car and try to figure everything out ourselves.
Yeah.
Which is probably the worst way to review a car, but honestly to me it's more fun like this.
Yeah.
I think it's more honest like that, because you're not so biased, you know? If you read everything about it beforehand, you don't know what's gonna happen. So with like this, it's like always like a roller coaster. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes
Yeah, and I like the spontaneous stuff.
Same.
So
So I have no idea how to get the overdrive out of the car.
Was versuchst du gerade herauszufinden?
Auf Heckantrieb zu stellen.
Kannst du es noch nicht.
Ah. Achso, so, es geht am Handy. Jetzt sagt man es doch gleich, meine Freunde. Hello guys, my name is Schäfchen and in today's video we're gonna drift my M340 to see if it's really different than M3. I have a really big dick.
Wie viel Scheiße hast du schon vernascht auf der Rückbank?
Das wird die erste sein. X-Drive off, jetzt flashen. Jetzt sagt er,
So flasht der das.
X-Drive ausschalten.
Ja, zähl.
Aber warte mal, eigentlich solltest du doch fahren, oder nicht?
Das ist keine schlechte Idee. Ja, mach mal schnell. Switch.
Mach mal,
Ja,
okay.
dann, du musst einfach nur schnippen, dann
Okay.
tauschst du
1,
das.
2, 3.
Alter, dass das wirklich funktioniert hat.
Ja, es geht immer wieder.
Alright, so apparently we are now in real drive mode. I have no idea how that works. I don't know if it works at all. I didn't even know this car was overdrive. I honestly don't know if this car even has a locking differential in the back.
Let's find out.
Okay, ja, das Differential sperrt. Das
Okay.
geht richtig gut gehört. Das geht besser als der 40er, 1,40er. Ja, spinne ich.
Ja, das geht
Aber
richtig
fein.
fein.
Aggressiv ist immer fast ein bisschen. Motor gehen wir nämlich auf Komfort. Getriebe gehen wir auf Sport. Boah. Boah. Ey. Bremslichteffekt. Alter Manni. Warum geht das so gut quer?
Ja, weil es ein BMW ist.
So this actually drives better sideways than the M1350, M135,
Yeah,
the one series that we tested
Yeah,
a while
yeah,
ago.
yeah, yeah.
Actually, like suspension-wise, I don't know what suspension is in here, but suspension-wise, it feels very, very similar to the M3 G80. So I don't feel any difference in this whatsoever right now. The only thing I can already tell you guys is that the brakes are not the best. Und das sind schon wieder Kühe. Alter, in jedem Video haben wir Kühe mit dir auf der Straße.
Jeden Tag. Hallo!
Wo geht denn die hin überhaupt?
Ja, nach Hause.
Also,
In den Stall. Schlafen.
I wish the cows would move right now because this car is honestly quite a lot of fun to drive in the wet at least. The differential is way better than I expected. I expected the differential to be open, honestly. It's locking and it's locking really, really good. So far this car has been sliding very predictably. The only thing I can really tell you already is that the brakes are really, really not so nice. Also leistungsmäßig
Ich weiß nicht, was sind das? Ich muss noch schon.
So, just from a performance standpoint, this car is really, really fast. And honestly, very surprising. So, another thing. Well, this car is insanely fast. Like but like I would probably go so far to say that this feels very similar to my G80, which is very surprising. Suspension is really, really good in this car. You have a little bit of more understeer with this car, however, than with the M3, which I don't really know why this is. Probably just the M3 has upgraded suspension, not only on the coilovers, but like in the complete front. But this car understeers a little bit more in some corners. But apart from that, so far it does not really feel way too different from the chassis of the car itself, if that makes sense. One thing, however, I can tell you is that the engine behaves completely different than the G80. This feels a bit more like leggish, a bit more
Not so
slush.
spicy, yeah?
It's not so spicy like the G80, yeah. It feels a bit more slush. I mean, it's fast, really, really fast. But what I'm saying is like the throttle response, or like the way how the turbos and everything acts. Because with the G80 it was instant, and this it kind of takes a few seconds to realize what you're trying to do, which is not a bad thing, but it's something that you do notice. But performance-wise, this thing is insane. For this being a non-M car and being way cheaper than an M3, it blows me away. I honestly did not expect I would like it as much as I do. One thing, however, I have to say
Just an bisschen unklick fühlt sich an. Okay, one thing I don't like about this car, but it's not the 340's fault, it's Abba's fault, is the steering wheel.
Ist da was ausgerunden?
Irgendwas tut da gerade unten mal rumspülen. Das ist da.
Was ist das?
Kein Plan, aber es ist nass. Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Ach du Scheiße. Ein Mojito. Da ist ein Putzfetzen. Ja, was haben sie auch da, die Müllerinnen?
Yeah, the short break is over. So, chassis-wise...
Ich habe jetzt nicht durchgehend gefilmt.
Also perfekt.
Was ist?
Nichts passt schon.
Was?
Alles good. So chassis-wise, very similar to the M3. Honestly, if I would close my eyes and just drive this car normally, just from how the car moves and how it like acts, I would not really feel a big difference. Like I said, we have a bit more understeer, so it's a little bit harder to drift the car, but the differential is doing a really good job at keeping these tires spinning in these beautiful corners, which we like. Steering is actually really good. The only thing I don't like, steering wheel itself, really bad, because it's so shaped so weirdly. Feels so weird to touch it. And then once it's like this, it's like, I don't know, I'm not used, you know?
Yeah, it's oval.
Yeah, it's not round and it's like, I don't know, not a big fan of the steering wheel. But apart from that, engine is really fast, really good. A little bit laggish. Laggish is the wrong word because you don't really have a lag. But compared to the G80, it's not as spicy. It's missing a little bit of the M spice, you know?
More.
Yeah, yep, correct. The brakes are the only thing that you should probably definitely upgrade if you want to go for more like track oriented or more like mountain pass oriented, because I could feel it already that the brakes were kind of like not so happy about me doing what I'm doing right now. But apart from that, honestly, I'm really surprised. I did not expect it to be as good. When we tested it 130, I was 135, whatever it is. I was a bit, you know, unmotivated to test other M. Wie viele Sachen können im Automodul fliegen? Honestly, it's fun to drive it, really. This might actually be a cool alternative to an M3. If you don't want to spend M3 money, this probably is a cool way how to do it. Servus. If you want to have fun with the car, still want to get a very modern BMW, maybe pick up this instead of an M3. Maybe reconsider your life choices. You don't always need an M3 to be happy. This can do the trick. So these donuts, they may seem like something unnecessary, but with these donuts, what you guys don't understand is they helped me build a better relationship with the car. They helped me understand the car a bit more. They helped me feel what the car is feeling. And on these donuts, I could feel a bit more what the differential is doing than just by drifting it on the mountain roads. And these donuts, they told me one thing: maybe the M3 differential is a bit better. This is not bad for drifting, but you could feel it in the donuts that sometimes it's not 100% sure what it's supposed to do. But then at the same time, what we also have to take into consideration is that with the M3 G80, which you know, the G80 also did not really like donuts. So maybe it's just because of the G model, you know? For this, I would really need to test the 335 like F model to fully prove my point. I think we need a bit more driving so I can fully tell you guys what's going on here. All right, so I'm giving you guys some POV action so you can see what I'm doing with my hands. Honestly, these cars benefit quite a lot from left foot braking. It was the same with the M135, and I understand it now why the guy with the M135 was doing it, because with the left foot braking you get more time to react basically, and this differential is not like the M3 differential. This differential is a bit, I would say, a bit slower, or a bit, it's not so smart. I think that puts it probably the best way, which makes reacting to the car a bit more tricky.
because everything is a bit more hectic. So it drifts really nice, as you see, once it gets to drifting, but everything is a bit more hectic. It's not as smooth as with the M3 G80, and that is honestly just because of the differential. That's the only thing that really feels different while drifting here on these roads compared to my M3 G80, which honestly is very surprising because there is quite a big price difference between an M3 and an M340, and so far just the differential being a bit different seems quite interesting to me. However, one really big plus side of this car is that it has a beautiful engine note. It doesn't sound so raspy, it doesn't sound so shitty like the G80. For me this is pretty important because I like good sounding cars, and we can all agree that the G80 is probably not the best sounding car. So yeah, this one here is very good compared to that. So here you guys saw that it just took some time for the differential to lock, and this just is what I'm telling you guys. Everything is a bit slower, not from a like horsepower perspective, but from a, I think it's probably electronic. The electronics are just not as quick thinking as with the G80. So with this corner down there, you saw it perfectly now. I think even with the POV. With the normal M3, the rear would instantly kick out once you enter the corner, because that's just how the differential and everything is designed. But with this car, it just takes a little while to figure out what's going on. So once again, another car that could definitely benefit from a differential upgrade. I think it's so cool that I get to test so many cars, by the way, because it really helps me making my cars better, to be honest. One thing I really do not like with this differential is like these high pulled corners, because it is quite shaky, to be honest. These longer corners are really nice and easy to drift with an M3, but with this car it's a bit more tricky, I have to say. It's just simply because how everything acts. Also the steering wheel is definitely not helping, because I'm having a hard time finding where to grip the steering wheel once it goes sideways. I don't really know where to properly grab it, because this here feels so weird. One thing that I've also noticed in this corner now is that transitions between the drifts are also significantly harder with this differential than compared to the M differential, just because it doesn't fully lock on the weight transfer itself. Kind of makes it a bit harder for me, at least. I don't know. Yeah, it's all very interesting. At first I was a bit more hyped, but now the more I get used to, or the more I drive the car, the more I understand why the M3 exists, to be honest. This is a good alternative if you don't have the money for an M3. If I would be in the market for an M3, I would never go and purchase an M340. Simply because the M3 just does everything that this car does already out the box. Because you guys should also take into consideration that we're sitting right now in a highly modified M340. We have upgrade turbos and everything. I'm not saying that this is a bad car. It is really good, I think, but it does really need some modifications to get to the same level as an M3. Maybe you can get into M3 territory with this on a cheaper budget, but it's easy to just buy an M3, to be honest. So, braking. And here in this corner we saw it again, ladies and gentlemen. The differential is just not fully, it's not there. At the first second of the corner, the differential is just not doing it's not closing. It does not want to close on us. So this is why I drive through the corner normally before anything happens. So I'm gonna do this corner one more time. This was in second gear, so maybe, I'm not a huge fan of first gear corner sliding, but maybe if I enter the corner in first gear and then upshift directly into second gear, maybe this will help us a little bit by getting the car sideways a little bit sooner. So first gear, second gear, slide around this corner, easy cheesy, lemon squeezy, downshift. Yeah. Definitely helped a lot. So you guys may actually not know it, but these cows, they actually love watching me drift. They come here every time we're up here, and they basically, right now it's trying to act not so interested, but it's the same with the girls. The less interested they actually are, the more they want you. Honestly, it would be very interesting to know if this one has the same differential as the rear-wheel drive one, or if they have different ones. Because for me, it's very, I mean, think about it. This car was X-Drive up until the moment where Abba stepped into the car with his phone out and pressed some buttons, and now we have a rear-wheel drive car. It's very interesting that this car even manages to slide like that. Once it grips up, however, it is pretty hard to That was a really nice one though. That was a really nice run. I'm really happy with that. It just takes some getting used to the differential and how everything works to figure it out fully. It's not bad. It does the job actually pretty well, but it's not an M3. So I think that gets probably the point across the best. I already told you that the transitions are a bit hard with this car because everything just seems a little bit overwhelmed. But another thing that I just noticed is that once you let off the gas, the car just becomes very unstable, which you also don't have with an M3. Yeah guys, I have to say it's very beautiful here once again. I like the car. I think it drives really good for what it is. Is it an M3? Fuck no. It needs some work. I think you have the potential to create something that is similar, if not even better than an M3 for less the price. But for all of those guys who don't want to go through the struggle of, you know, getting a new differential, getting new suspension, getting new complete front setup and everything, I think it's just easy to buy an M3. But like I said, it is a good and cheaper alternative to an M3. So the car definitely is approved. It was sliding pretty good. Not the best I've ever driven, obviously, but you know, it's a little baby M. What are you guys expecting? I really thought it would be way worse than it actually was. So I will give this car a solid 7 out of 10 on the Sheepman scale for driftability, which we all know is the only true scale that truly matters. So yeah, 7.